You might have seen today's story online, but one of my viewers, Donna, just being real, recommended that I check out this story. And I'm reporting to you on it for a couple of different reasons, aside from the obvious fact that she deserves to be recognized in a positive way. This murder has a couple of unique components to it. One, it was done publicly in front of witnesses who actually happened to videotape it also. So you're able to see this attack happen online if that's something that interests you. The other thing is that this guy had no criminal record in the United States, but he's actually from another country, and in that other country, he does have a history of violence against women. Couple of interesting components. I hope that you'll stay tuned. Hi! If you're new here, welcome. My name is April Hardy, and on this channel we talk about things related to domestic violence, primarily intimate partner homicide. We were talking a lot more about domestic violence and how to survive it and how to thrive after it on this channel, but I'm getting more interest about the intimate partner homicide aspect of domestic violence, and I would really like to continue to address that here. So what we did is we created a Facebook page called Empowering Abuse Victims, and in there we're going to do more discussing about domestic violence and how to survive it and how to thrive after it, risk factors, things like that. So I would encourage you to go over to Facebook and start following that page as well. That would be awesome. If you aren't new, welcome back. We have a lot of new people that come and check it out because of news, but I have some faithful people that are subscribed and follow, and I am extremely grateful for you. You guys are an encouragement to me, and you inspire me to keep going. You let me know that what I'm doing is important, and I appreciate you so much. So today the format is we're going to do kind of an obituary tribute to Maria Kelly, and then we're going to talk about the murder. Throughout the video we will talk about intimate partner homicide red flags when I see them, and we'll break down the domestic violence dynamics in this situation a little bit. If you search for it online, I'm sure that you can still probably find the gruesome video of the attack that happened on June 14th, 2021 that ended up killing Maria Kelly. I know that it was shocking for a lot of people. I'm not putting that video in this video for multiple reasons. I have no desire to watch her get beaten. I think it would be triggering to a lot of other people that are viewers of this channel, especially if you're concerned for your life. That's not gonna happen. While it amazes me how many people actually watch real life murders happen online, I am grateful for whoever it was that videotaped it. Hopefully that will make charging this guy and punishing him really easy. Hopefully. I also appreciate how it is able to show some dynamics of domestic violence that we're going to get to talk about in this video. Between the video of the attack and just the rest of the story, I was able to pick out 6 different elements of domestic violence dynamics that we can talk about in here. Number 1, he felt like he had every right to assault and kill Maria. She was his possession. Period. 2, he felt so secure in that, in fact, that it was okay for him to attack her in broad daylight with witnesses. What did that matter? He felt like he had been wronged by her, and therefore he had every right to take her life. 3, he continued to attack and yell at Maria even after she was unconscious. So people who think that you can just fight back and they're gonna stop, like I've been told, oh, well, domestic violence perpetrators are just bullies, and if you fight back, then they'll back off, because that's what bullies do. He had no reason to continue. She was literally on the ground unconscious, and he continued, because the dynamics of domestic violence are way different from a schoolyard bully. Number 4, there was no respect for the fact that she was a person, a mother, a daughter, a friend, a valued employee, an important member of the community. In his eyes, her only value was as his wife, his possession. Number 5, he did not have a documented history of domestic violence in the United States. And that speaks to the fact that sometimes domestic violence and coercive control can go on very much under the radar. People talked about not being aware that this was a dynamic in this relationship, that there was any abuse going on. However, number 6 that you get from the articles about this story say that he actually has a history of domestic violence, of stalking, and even potentially attempting to murder a previous wife in the Dominican Republic. So, he definitely has a history. And for him to go from that, from potentially trying to kill his previous wife, to being married to this one, and having no domestic violence, anything involved in their relationship, I find next to impossible to believe. And then he just one day kills her. That's not a thing. She was living with something, maybe a lot of something. Maria Kelly passed away on June 18, 2021 at the New York Presbyterian Columbia Hospital. She's survived by her parents, Elvira and Ephraim, as well as her children, Elizabeth and Emmanuel. Maria was born December 21st, 1971 to Elvira and Ephraim in the Dominican Republic. She came to the United States and got into the life of schools, which is her true passion. She started as a volunteer at PSMS 161 and worked her way into a position of school secretary. She was and forever will be loved by the entire school community, staff, students, and parents alike. She always had the best interest of everyone at heart and would work tirelessly to assist them, even if it meant doing so on her own time. Her love and attentiveness to everyone made Maria a cornerstone of the entire community. Maria's other passions were her family, gardening, and cooking. She had an unconditional love for her family and would work tirelessly every day to provide for them to ensure that they had a good life. She took great pride in her children and would always be their #1 supporter. She will be forever missed. Remembering Maria Kelly. She is a really good lady, a mom who is very dedicated to her son. She's a school worker in the neighborhood. It's a terrible tragedy, said a woman from her neighborhood. At the Church of Annunciation, I think is how you say that, in Harlem, her 19-year-old son Emmanuel and 24-year-old daughter Elizabeth joined a crowd of about 200 people who came to reflect on the life of the gentle and beloved Harlem school secretary, Maria Kelly. And I appreciate some of the things that were reported. Pam Price, a retired principal of the school that Maria worked at and a longtime friend of hers, said, "I am full of rage. I am so enraged. Maria Kelly was the person that you could count on. That's why we're so angry. He took her from us. That son of a gets up on Monday morning and decides that this is what he's going to do." She also said, "There's no one here or anywhere in the community who could tell you a harsh word that came out of Maria Kelly's mouth. I think she was suffering and never said a word to us because I don't know where this came from. This rage, this evilness that he perpetrated on our friend." A colleague, Jeanette Sylvia, said she was sweet. She was humble. "I'm at a loss for words right now. No one deserved to go out like that." Her son Emmanuel said that Julio Aponte was wrong to think that his mom was unfaithful to him in any way. "Jealous husband? My mother was always faithful," Emmanuel Aponte told Daily News. "That was only in his mind. My mother was a wonderful woman. She was a school secretary. That's why all of these people are here." And this really touched my heart. A 13-year-old student who was in attendance, who knew Maria Kelly through the school, was too upset to speak with reporters after the service. But later she emailed Daily News and told them her feelings. In it, she shared, "My mother said that she's trying to make sense of what happened. I hope that she can, because I can't." To that 13-year-old student, I would say, love, that's because this is a senseless crime. I could explain to you the dynamics and the belief systems that are why intimate partner homicide takes place, but in the end, it's just a senseless act of violence. There is no good reason for it to wrap your head around. What right does one person have? Does any person have to take the life that God gave somebody else? None. Now that we've done the tribute to Maria, I want to take a second to remind you, or let you know if you don't know, about the book that I wrote called In Case I'm Murdered: What You Should Know About Stalking, Domestic Violence, Sexual Abuse, and How to Stay Safe. It is available on Amazon in print as well as ebook, and it's available on audible.com as an audiobook. If you are interested, I am looking for some reviews for the audiobook, and I have some codes so that you can listen to it for free in exchange for a review. And this is really important information, regardless of whether you want to leave a review or not. If you are at all concerned for your well-being, as far as domestic violence goes, as far as being a woman goes, this is an excellent resource for you. I hope that you'll check it out. Let's get back to the unfortunate result of not having that information. So the story. On the morning of June 14th, 2021, Julio Aponte, who was 63, laid in wait for his wife, 49-year-old Maria Kelly, at a bus stop at approximately 7 a.m. Dressed in black and wielding a crowbar inside of a black trash bag, Aponte attacked Maria, repeatedly beating her in the head with the crowbar. The attack has been called a deadly fit of misdirected jealousy because he was screaming accusations at her as he was beating her. Like, how dare you cheat on me? Even after she was visibly unconscious, and he continued to beat her and scream at her. Witnesses of the attack were left in shock. Some of them called 911, some of them recorded the attack on video. It's my understanding that several of them were screaming at him to stop, and at least one of them even went over and checked to see how she was doing, even as Aponte was standing over her. I saw that in a piece of the video that I actually was willing to watch, because I watched the first couple of seconds of it and I couldn't handle that. Aponte then fled on motorcycle, leaving his wife laying there unconscious on the ground in a pool of her own blood. Shortly afterwards, he confessed to somebody, potentially a parking lot attendant, but I can't confirm that one way or another. There was only one report on that. But whoever it was that he confessed to convinced him to call the police and turn himself in. He was arrested a short time later, I believe in a parking lot nearby, without incident. Responding officers found Maria laying on the ground with significant head trauma. Police also found the crowbar wrapped in plastic or in the trash bag, if you actually see the video or the pictures, as well as Aponte's backpack at the scene of the assault. Maria was taken to Columbia Presbyterian Medical Center, where she reportedly had more than one heart attack as a result of her injuries. And I'm totally, again, speculating, but can you imagine the kind of heart attack emotionally that one would have when this person that you love, who has told you that they love you, has been kind, has been caring and caretaking, has been romantic, has been your friend and confidant, this person is trying to kill you? Can you imagine the heartbreak and the heart attack that might cause? I can totally see that. It's no surprise at all. I don't know what physiologically head trauma would cause a heart attack, or what did they call it? Cardiac arrest. Same thing. But I know emotionally what would do that. 4 days later, she ended up passing away. Initially, Aponte was charged with second-degree attempted murder and assault. Now that she's passed away, it should be increased to some type of a homicide charge. The Assistant District Attorney, Jeffrey Livingston, said that Aponte had no arrest record, like I told you before, and that police had never responded to an argument at their home. So there was never any police intervention for any kind of domestic disturbance at their home. However, Livingston was able to report that Aponte has a history of violence towards women. Apparently, in a previous marriage in the Dominican Republic, he stalked his wife, he threatened her on multiple occasions, and he even went after her with an axe once. I wonder how they obtained that information, and why was it not made available to Maria? Or maybe it was. Did she know? She came from the Dominican Republic too. Did she just fall for the changed man routine? Lots of us do. And at this point in my life, my rule of thumb is if somebody was able to do something before, they have it in them to do it again. Change or no change. Because do I believe that change is possible? Yes. Do I believe that most abusers change though? No. But just people in general, even non-abusers. If somebody is able to do something cruel at some point, then they're probably able to do it again if the right buttons get pushed. A lot of us have like this absolutely no-go line that we will not cross. But once somebody has crossed it, it's not so hard for them to cross it again. That's my thoughts. I wanted to note, because I thought it was interesting, articles described Aponte as enraged and violently possessive. They also described him as elderly. An elderly man beating his wife to death with a crowbar is not really what you conjure up in your mind when you're thinking about domestic violence. At least it's not what conjures in my mind. Generally, I think 20s, 30s, maybe 40-year-olds. But realistically, this speaks to the fact that belief systems are strong and powerful, and they run deep and long. Most abusers do not ever change. The reason that most abusers do not change is because you have to realize that there's something wrong and want to change it in order for change to happen. And most domestic violence offenders do not believe that what they're doing is wrong. So if they don't believe that what they're doing is wrong, they have no desire to try to fix it, aside from trying to make a judge happy or make a woman happy so that they can get back with her, or a man happy so that they can get back with him. But they don't do it because they have this innate, I understand that I am wrong in this case and I want to get better, usually. But even if they do, if they have crossed this line before, it's easier for them to cross it again. An anonymous man told reporters that Ponte worked security, but he was a drunk. He talked about how he was always drinking outside of the building. And the fact that he would be drunk while providing security also speaks to a lack of respect for people or property. I don't know what he was securing or what he was being paid to be securing, but whatever it wasn't secure. I mean, if you respected what you were doing as far as providing security, you would not be drinking on the job. Even if you went home and drank afterwards. If you were an alcoholic, you wouldn't be drinking on the job. That shows, again, a lack of respect, a lack of caring about other people or other people's things. If it isn't something that benefits him directly, it doesn't matter. And that's pretty characteristic of a domestic violence abuser. And before we end this week, I want to remind you that if you are concerned at all that your life is in danger, I know I'm starting to sound like the news things, but if you're concerned that your life is in danger with your intimate partner, your fear is the #1 sign that your life is in danger. It is your receptors going off letting you know that you are at risk. Please call the National Domestic Violence Hotline. Reach out for help. Contact me at staff@aprilhardy.com and I can give you a couple of templates for safety plans, or the National Domestic Violence Hotline obviously can help you with safety plans. Make a plan. Reach out. Don't be alone. Call the number on the screen, please. That's it for me this week. So until I see you again, please stay safe.